Well, and to that point, maybe this is an even bigger thing, and this came out. I mean, I tend to not care about this as much as the people that are reacting to it. But this actually came out just about an hour and a half ago or so. So Brian Armstrong, if you don't know who he is, CEO of Coinbase, tweeted that, and I keep this in mind before I do say this, because Coinbase, whether you like them, hate them, same with Brian Armstrong, I will say this: he does like to ensure that he is in some way working with the SEC as best as possible. So take that for what you will. You could look at that as a good thing that they're crossing all their T's and dotting all their lowercase J's. But little Wayne's World joke there if anybody remembers that. But yeah, so he basically tweeted. So, and this, again, the way this whole thing starts, this to me, I don't even know what this is going to come of this. Everybody's flipping out about it. I'm just like, whatever. We're hearing rumors, okay, that the SEC would like to get rid of crypto staking in the U.S. for retail customers. I hope that's not the case, as I believe it would be a terrible path for the U.S. if that was allowed to happen. Staking is a really important innovation in crypto. It allows users to participate directly in running open crypto networks. Staking brings many positive improvements to the space, including scalability, increased security, and reduced carbon footprints. And he links an article from Paradigm. We need to make sure that new technologies are encouraged to grow in the U.S., not stifled by the lack of clear rules. I agree with that. When it comes to financial services in Web3, it's a matter of national security that these capabilities be built out in the U.S. Regulation by enforcement doesn't work. I agree with that too. It encourages companies to operate offshore, which is what happened with FTX. Hopefully, we can work together to publish clear rules for the industry and come up with sensible solutions that protect customers, consumers, while preserving innovation and national security interest in the U.S. So I don't know how much validity there are to the rumors or whatever, but I tend to think that, what are they going to do? I mean, how are they going to regulate it? And we're not staking with Coinbase. Like, I mean, if you have a brain in your head or in crypto, we're not staking on an exchange, on a CEX. So anyway, What are your thoughts?
Well, a couple thoughts. Firstly, I think where this stemmed were probably Bitcoin maxis who are pushing this narrative about Ethereum, right? Because that's how you essentially earn yield now, is by staking or supporting a validator. There's a lot less energy spent to maintain the network. That's one bonus for sure. And then you've got, so Coinbase is one of those. They're weird. Okay, they seem to support things for the little guy, yet they are also one of the major nodes who are OFAC compliant. So they've been on that side too, where if anybody used Tornado Cash, your addresses are basically blacklisted. So they say one thing, they do another. I'm just not sure which side they're really on. So it's one of those. It's another one of those. We're going to have to wait and see who they're really fighting for. Is it themselves, because they do maintain several nodes for Ethereum themselves. They're earning their own block rewards and paying out people that have supported their validator nodes. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. It's hard to say who started this whole narrative. Was it Bitcoin who still says that proof of work is the only way, even though it's a huge waste of electricity, whether it's renewable or not, it doesn't matter. That just the amount of electricity used up on Bitcoin mining is crazy. So it's a lot less, it's a lot less restrictive to be able to stake like that. And all these DeFi platforms that you can't stop. I don't know how they're going to.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to control any, especially smart contracts like Hex. I'm sure there's other ones out there too that stake. I know there's still other smaller coins that have staking mechanism built into their QT wallets. So yeah, I think it's hopefully going to be a big nothing burger. These guys try to put laws in, and they're not, half of them aren't even educated on what true blockchain is to begin with. So, you hear these things, and then, it hits the vote, and then they kick it back, and several years till anything happens anyway. So
Right.
we'll have to see how it really plays out, and who gets in there and actually supports it with a voice of reason. So, supporting your local people, your congressmen and your senators, talking to them, uh, and explaining, why these things are good, can't hurt. So if you have any kind of relationship with any of those people, talk to them, tell them your thoughts on it, and why it's a good thing. I know the central banks don't like people being able to stake and earn their own rewards. Kind of takes away from their business model of wanting to be the only ones that can print money. But unfortunately, times are changing. So
Yeah.
that's where we're at.
I agree with you 100%, Ewok, on the motivation for Brian Armstrong. It's like, I don't, who knows what's actually happening behind the scenes? Who know, he tends to be the guy that acts as if he's on the side of the little guy, but is he really? And it kind of like I said at the introduction of that whole thing, is it's like Coinbase does like to make sure that they're good with the SEC and stuff, and you can look at that in whatever way you want. But like you said, I mean, none of us, or you shouldn't be, if you're watching this show anyway, should be earning yield on centralized exchanges. I mean, that's not really anything we're focused on. And I agree with you. What are they going to do about all these DeFi protocols? Like, there are countless different, dApps on these different layer ones and layer twos and all these platforms that you can earn yield on. I mean, like, there's so many things you can do with DeFi. How in the hell are they going to, what are they going to do? I mean, like, I just don't know. I mean, maybe I'm overcomplicating it. It's not really something that the consumer and the person earning the yield will be responsible for themselves. I mean, clearly it's going to have to be these protocols. But what do they do? It's just,
Well, the one thing they could do
how do you
is,
put that genie back in the bottle?
yeah, but I mean, they could start blacklisting addresses that use them. So, if they want to do something like that, then, that would affect your on and off ramps for sure. But other than that, they couldn't really stop the protocol itself. So, I mean, I
Right.
think if they were going to do anything, that's where it would come down to your ability to on and off ramp into fiat.
Yeah. Well, it's something to watch for. Yeah, we'll see what we're hearing about that. But again, like you said, too, Ewok, that's like a 3-year thing. I mean, we have no idea when that'll
Yeah,
take place. So there's no
right.
reason to anybody that's reading that Brian Armstrong thread and more signs of the bear market, we're going lower. See, and oh my God, you mentioned this to me earlier today, Ewok, and I saw it the other day too. The Super Bowl bans crypto commercials, which, if you actually read the article by a watch guru, that wasn't even actually true. But just, it's like everybody is looking for, like, I've been saying this for weeks, like that next big thing that's going to bring us down. Like, oh, what happened to Grayscale? Nobody even gives a shit about it anymore. It's not even talked about, whatever. But I'm
Well, they
not saying
forget
there's not
about it till they
fear.
don't.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying there's not things to worry about here and there in the market, but if anything, for me, we need to be rewiring our brain and look at this the other way. Like, okay, people's publishing articles that the Super Bowl is banning crypto commercials 1 calendar year after it was the rage of the Super Bowl, all these crypto commercials. Like, hey, sentiment bottom, we should be buying right now.
So you said that wasn't
That's how I
true?
look at it. No, they're not. I don't believe they're actually banned. I actually read the article. It was just, it basically just was that all it was that they were like hesitant to, or didn't want to air anything because of some of the recent events. Like, there was no,
Right.
the word banned is just like a
Well,
clickbaity, I mean,
yeah, I
hey,
guess.
we're all in it for the clicks, but it just was a
Uh,
clickbaity way of saying it, I believe.
well, I heard 2 exchanges. I'm guessing Crypto.com and Coinbase probably had commercials made, but they're not going to air them. So that was the last that I had
Really?
heard
Yeah.
regarding that. Yeah, there were two companies that had commercials prepared, but they're not going to get aired now. And I guessed Coinbase and Crypto.com just because they're the two big
Makes
ones that
sense.
are left. I don't see CZ doing anything with Binance, but who knows? I could be wrong.
FTX kind of isn't part of the equation, I guess. So can't be FTX.
Wasn't FTX.
So yeah. Guess
Unless
won't be
it's
them this year.
Sam broadcasting from his parents' basement with his ankle bracelet.
Or what about Sam's business partner? They're redoing it. It's what, GTX now or something like that. So yeah, that dude he was partnered with or whatever, they're just going to start it right back up. So hey, I see no issues with that. No, interesting. Okay. Well, either way, go Chiefs. That's the side. How about you, Ewok? What are you thinking? Chiefs, Eagles?
Well, everybody likes the Eagles, so I'm going to be the contrarian on this one and go Chiefs. I think the Chiefs will pull it out.
There you go. I've always had a weird dislike of the Philadelphia Eagles, so
yeah, me too.
I'll go with the Chiefs here. Yeah,
being a Steeler fan, you know, we're not too keen on the Philadelphia sports team.
Yeah, for you, yeah, yeah.